Alright, so today's project is using the Amazon Echo. Is what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking apart the Echo and putting two wires in it, and we're going to be using these wires to control this button right here, which activates the
I don't.
the speaking part.
That's so nice. Just ask me what you'd.
Okay, stop. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be connecting two wires to this button, which allow us to control it with an Arduino. And the reason we're going to do this is so that we can use it in home automation projects, where we just want the Echo to activate by itself, where we don't have to push this button or say the wake word for it. And that way, it'll be just a more natural way of just having a smart automated house or automated home or automated room, and we can use it in a lot of projects. So let's get started. Alright, so I'm going to start taking this apart, and this probably voids the warranty for it, but I mean, I don't really care, but if you care about that, you probably shouldn't do this. But I think the first thing we're going to have to do is to take this bottom rubber cover thing off of the bottom of the Echo Dot, and it's kind of glued on there, so might have to use a razor knife to help that kind of get off of there. So here. Alright, so let's try and get under there. Alright. Okay, so I'm peeling it up. Can you see that? Yeah, right there. Peeling up the edge, and now that I got it, I can kind of pull the whole thing off. There we go. Alright, so I pulled the bottom rubber cover off, and now there's sort of this plastic shiny thing. You can see that there's this plastic thing in between the screws and where I want to get to those screws down there, but there's this plastic cover, so I'm gonna try to peel this off too. This seems like it's gonna be a little harder than the rubber cover. Oh wait, no. Yeah, see, you can see I'm getting it. Trying not to damage anything. So what I'm thinking of doing once I get in here is wiring up some wires to that button. I'll see how things are first. But I want the Arduino to be able to connect, either push this button using like a transistor or send a signal to it so that it registers that button being pushed. Alright, so I got that plastic cover off, and now it's just the screws. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a screwdriver, get some magnets to hold the screws, pull out my screwdriver, and I'm going to try to get those screws out. Let's try this bit. So it's I think it's called a Torx bit. It's not a standard screwdriver bit. I don't want to strip these either. let me try another one. Alright, this one's good. Okay. So that's the first one. Pretty long screws. Looks like these screws are what hold the whole thing together. So it's just kind of a bunch of layers held together by these 4 screws. Oh, I just dropped my magnet. Pick it up. Okay. There's 2. 3. And 4. Alright. So now I'll see what it looks like on the inside for the first time. Let's open it. Okay. So you should probably actually try to get it. Okay. So. Alright, so it's. Uh oh. Just got stuck. Okay. So. Inside. This is metal. It's actually made out of, there's metal in here holding this together. There's a ribbon cable. So it looks like this bottom piece, or actually, yeah. So this bottom piece looks like the main board. I can look down in there. This looks like the underside of the main board. And then there's a rubber, there's a rubber thing right here that's, where it's like silicone. It's probably insulating, or, yeah, I don't know what it's doing. It's doing something for the electronics and the metal. And then there's this plastic ring right here. And it's a white plastic ring. I think these are for the LEDs. These are the LEDs right here. And yeah, so on the top, I should actually probably, I'm gonna take this ribbon cable out so I can put this board down. Because what I'm interested in is the top board with the buttons on it for now. So I gotta make sure I don't break this. And do this very carefully. I think you just pull it out. It should just come right out. That. So once you have that, this metal, this top layer comes off. And this rubber layer comes off. Make sure we don't get these out of order. This plastic layer right here, just put it all back here, and then here is what looks like the other board, and this is the button board and the LED board, and probably the microphone board, it looks like. So this is what we're interested in, because this is probably what we're gonna have to be connecting to with whatever we want to use to control this with the Arduino. So I'm gonna, oh yep. So I just pushed the button and popped it out. Alright, so here are the buttons. Okay, so this is the top of the top cover. And right here are the buttons and the microphones, it looks like. Yep. So now we have to think about how we're gonna go about connecting to. Here, let's make sure. Yeah, actually, which way did this go? Okay. Yeah. So this one has 2 LEDs on it, so I can assume that it's the microphone one, because when you push the microphone button, it lights up red. So I know the direction of that now. And oh, and also this one has something on it so that I can make sure it goes back correctly. So we're good there. So the button we're interested in is this one right here. So this button is the one that activates Alexa when we push it. So it is pretty tiny, and what we're gonna have to do is either find the tracings on here that go into here, which is going to be really hard, or solder directly to this button. We can see if, let's see, we can see if connecting one of these solder points to ground activates this button. And if that's the case, then we just have to use one wire from the button and then one wire to ground of the whole thing, and then we just use the Arduino to ground this button, and that would activate it. So that would be the best thing. But if that's not the case, if it's like you have to pull it high, or we could try, no, we can't use the Arduino for high. We would have to use a transistor to connect to, and then in that case we would have to solder 2 wires to this. So yeah, let's just do a few tests using this. So I'm gonna have to connect the power to this, and then we'll be back and do some tests on it. Alright, so I got the power cord right here, and I connected the button board back to the main board. So now I'm gonna plug it in, and let's see what happens. Alright, so we got the lights like it normally is. It's connecting to Wi-Fi. So I'm just gonna wait for this to set up. You can see the lights. Wonder if the sound, where the speaker is. I didn't see the speaker. Okay, so let's try pushing the volume up button. Oh, that's kind of weird. Why? So the speaker, the internal speaker of the dot is located in this thing. So it's kind of built in. So these 2 contacts right here go to the speaker. So that's why I can't hear it. Okay, so I just decided to use the aux input for my speakers. So Echo, hello.
Hi.
Alright, good. So we got sound. So now what I'm gonna do is I wanna try to connect some things with this button and see if we can get it to actually, see if we can decide which things we have to connect together to get it to activate. So this is kind of dangerous. Actually, what we should do first is we should see if these buttons, we should use a
Sorry, I'm not sure.
we should use a multimeter to see if what things these buttons are connecting. That would be safer than actually just testing it. So I'm going to use this multimeter. I'm going to go to ohms. We'll use the one with sound so you can hear it. So let's just go here. So I'm going to disconnect the power first. Disconnect the power and the sound. Alright, so let's just see here. So I'm going to put this, I'm going to try to, alright. Okay, So we have our first, we can see here that these two are already connected. And yes, so these rings, as I thought, are ground. I'm touching it to the metal part, and that is ground. So these are ground rings around here. And I'm touching it to the little contact on the switch right at the bottom. And you can see that so this is ground on the switch. On the bottom one, where it says S1 right here, is ground. And then this top one, I'm assuming when you push it, so let's try that. So when you push it, I'm assuming it goes to ground. So let's just put it on the top one, and we'll push the button. It's just kind of hard to do all of these. So I'm putting it on the top one, and I'm going to push the button. Yeah. Let's just make sure. Okay, I'm pushing it. Hold on. It's really small, these contacts on the button. They're just so small. Yeah. Can you hear that? So I've got it connected like that. When I push the button, now off. So you can see it is actually connecting to ground. So when you connect this top one, this probably goes for all of the buttons. When you connect this top one to ground, it activates it. So that is what I was hoping for. We don't have to use a transistor. It's just connecting to ground. So that's pretty simple. So just plug the power back in. We gotta wait for it to get back up. Put this away. And what we're gonna do now is connect the top one to ground, and we can probably see that it activates. And doing that, then we can start deciding how we want to go about using an Arduino to control this. And it's gonna be probably just one really thin wire running from here out the back, maybe. Or I mean, I would a lot like to have this be wireless, so the Arduino can control it wirelessly. So we could do like a So we could put like a ESP8266 in here, and have that be because that is just like an Arduino. We could program it with the Arduino environment, and we can put an ESP8266 in here, which is a Wi-Fi chip, and that could just control this one button. But that is the most complicated, and after doing this wire is going to be easy to do that in the future. But for now, I think I'm just gonna run a wire. Actually, I'll test it first, and then I think I'm gonna try to run a wire from the top of that button, and then from the ground, so 2 wires out the back after. So yeah, let me just test this first. So we'll touch this side of the wire to ground. I'll just put it on the top one. So boom. All right, there we go. Activated.
Sorry, I didn't catch that. Please try again.
Yeah, so here, I'll just do it again. And there we go, it activated. So there we go. Yeah, so now we know what we have to do. We just have to run a wire. I'm gonna probably get a really thin wire so I can run it through all these layers, and I'll start up my soldering iron, and let's get this wire connected. So what we're gonna do is so there's a bunch of these pads on the bottom. See, it says P4, P3, P5. So I'm gonna use these, and these are gonna be my ground. So I'm gonna solder this striped orange wire to probably P5, because that is directly over this port right here, which goes out, and I just want it as close to that as possible. And then for whatever reason there's this hole right here. That's the only other hole other than these 4 screw holes that goes out to the top of the board right here, and that is not blocked by anything. So I'm going to use that extra hole to run the other wire. So that's going to come out, and I'm going to have to, it comes out by switch, it says switch 3, S3. It comes out by S3, so I'm going to have to, without covering, because it looks like these little holes right here are the microphones, so there's one in the center. So I'm going to come out this hole, and I'm going to have to go over to switch 1, which is over here, without covering anything. So I'll just have to try, I don't know, let's see if what would happen if I just put it over to the side, kind of, because I'm trying to get to the top one. So I'm going to try to put on this cover, and let's see how that works with this thing. I'm going to make sure I can still click all the buttons. And then if that works, then let's just try doing that instead of putting it under the foam. So I'll just put this in like that. Okay. Can't hear it clicking. So I have to push them a lot farther. Maybe it's just because the screws aren't on there. Let's see. Yeah, I do. I have to push them further than normal. So that's not normal. It's because of the wire. Alright, so we finally have the wire I want to use. And I've just taken this and I've tinned the very tip of it. And I had to sand some of the coating off. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it through. And we already did this with the last wire. This time we'll just do it a little faster with this one. Okay, so now we have to solder. We have to solder this tip of the wire to this button. So I'm going to go get, here's my soldering iron. Let's get it over. Bring enough to get a wire on there. I just need to melt the solder. I may have gotten some solder on there that I can use. We'll have to see. So, where's the wire? Here it is. Let's try. Okay, let's try to get this wire connected now. So we kind of want it coming up like this. Alright. So I have it just barely connected. I have no idea. We're gonna have to test it to see if this activates. Or we can just, yeah, let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna test this again, because I want to make sure I did connect it. So this is the other side. We have the red wire exposed. I can actually do a multimeter test again between the solder. Actually, we don't have to plug in the Echo. We can do this using a multimeter. So let's do this. So the first thing, I'll just connect this side of the red wire, and then we'll test it here. So is this good? Yes, this is good. Alright, that's good. And then let's do this side. So when we push the button, we should hear a noise. Okay, I'm pushing it. Wait. Okay, I don't hear anything. Oh, wait. Wait, hold on. Oh yeah? Yep, so. Yay, so we got it soldered in. We got this soldered. And now we can try to route it out of the Echo. Make sure this wire doesn't get caught in the screw hole or the microphones or anything. Okay, so we got it connected, and look at that. The buttons all work still. So now we can do the easier part of just soldering to this pad. I'll just solder to P5 right here, where it says P5, and then with the other wire, and then yeah, so then I'll route it out of this. Alright, so it looks like I got it on. That is not the best soldering job, but it should work. Here, I'm gonna test it again. So we'll connect this gold wire, the end, to ground, and we have continuity. So that is working. And yeah. So now what I'll do is I'm gonna try to put everything back together. Okay, so put this cover back on just like we did earlier. The red wire out. Okay, and then where's the microphone? So put this like that. Put it through. Okay, and then we'll test the buttons. That feels good. That's good, good. They're all good. Okay, and then we'll run this red one just straight through here. So this comes down. And then now I gotta connect this like that. Okay, this is kind of tricky. Okay, I got it in. Alright. And then we got the plastic layer. So that goes there. And make sure it lines up with all these holes. Oh, got the rubber caught. Okay. And then these go back on. Just like that. And these buttons still working. Now I'm just gonna test this. So we got this all connected. So I'm gonna plug back the Echo. I'm gonna plug the Echo back in. So so now we're gonna, on this end, we're just gonna connect this gold wire and this red wire together right now. So ready? Boom. There we go. Look at that.
I couldn't find any enabled video skills.
There we
Go to
go.
the music video and books section of the Alexa app.
All right.
Enable the video provided
Okay.
you want.
Okay, so stop. Alright, and then look, we'll just do it again. Connect these. And boom, it lights up. Wait. And there we go. Push it again. Goes off. Goes back on. Alright, perfect. So we know those are working. Perfect. Okay, so now we're going to go about putting these wires through here. Alright, I'm back. So what I did was I just I couldn't see how I was going to fit those wires through either one of the original holes. So what I did was I just drilled a small hole right in the middle, right above, and I think they're gonna both fit through there. So I'll just take these wires and I'll put them both through there. I'll just pull these wires out and then just put this back on. Alright, let's see. So, got that together. And I'll just, got some dog hair in there. Adhesive. So I'm gonna put the screws back in first, and that one. All right, that is nice. So the buttons look they look normal and they feel normal. And then the only difference is now we got these two wires out. So I'm gonna try them again. I'm gonna plug this in. Plug the Echo in. So let's try it again. Alright, ready? Let's put them together. Are these? Yep, there we go. Look at that. It worked. Just stop. Okay, let's do it again. Ready? Boom. Again? Yeah. Perfect. It's working.
Children can now cheat their
Stop.
way to the top of the club.
Stop. Okay. So, perfect. So now we just got these two small wires coming out of the back. And now I'm going to show you using Arduino how we can connect these to Arduino and make Arduino activate Echo so that you can use it in a smart home project.
I'm not.
Stop. So that you can use it in a smart home project or just any project. But the good thing about this is it's just activating Echo without pushing that button and without saying it, so that you can just have, for instance, you just walk into the room and it just activates for you. So yeah, so we're done with the actual part where you hack the Echo. So now let's take out an Arduino and let's connect these to it. Let's connect this to it. Okay, so what I did was I just took the wires coming out of the Echo and I connected them to this, to my Arduino Nano through these cables right here. And I'm gonna switch over to my computer, and what I'm gonna do is we're gonna write some code. We're gonna write some code for this. So first thing we're gonna do is pin mode. So I got the positive, or the switch. I got the switch wire connected to digital 2, so we're gonna do digital 2 output, and then that's pretty much all we have to do there, really. And we're just gonna do this simple test really quick. So I'll do digital write D2 high first, and then delay maybe 3 seconds, and then we'll write it low. So write it low, and then delay another 3 seconds. So this is going to, the high should make it not, so low is what's going to actually activate the echo, and then high is going to deactivate it, hopefully, or that's just the signal where it's not connected, because low should connect it to ground, because I got the wire from the ground pad going to the ground of the nano, and the wire from the button going to digital 2. So when I connect the switch to ground, which is what low does, then it should hopefully activate it. So I'm just going to upload this. Oh, not D2, sorry. I am used to, I was doing ESP8266, and that's how. Alright, so we're over at the Echo, and as you can see, oh, I can't actually say that name, but as you can see, the Alexa, the Amazon Dot, is turning on and then turning off.
I don't.
Turning off 3 seconds later. So we'll just watch
No
it.
timer is set.
We'll just watch it. Boom. Okay. So there we go. It looks like we're controlling it, as you can see. Because I'm going to disconnect the Nano now, the Arduino.
There's
Disconnected
no
it.
Bluetooth device to disconnect.
Stop, Echo. Alright, and now you can see it is not activating like it was. So we were actually sending signals to it to go on and off. So yeah, so basically we could take this anywhere. This is just the basics, but thank you for watching, and I hopefully I'll see you in the future, and maybe we can update this project and build more on it. So I'll see you later.